What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Got some parts in and some product in. Got some 100K diff fuel, 500K diff fuel for the center, and we're gonna do this in the rear. My buddy already did 100K in the front, and while I'm already in there, I'm gonna be sticking the I think it's a 16 tooth pinion in, and see how that goes. So I've never done diff before, and he showed me like the quick way to do the front, so I'm gonna do the rear and the center and see how we do. All right, y'all. These 4 screws got to come out. Forgot to mention I had to clean them out with a I used a safety pin. I'll show you real quick. In these holes you'll get dirt and stuff inside there. I just used a safety pin. That's right there. I used that safety pin and just dug in there and got all the dirt and stuff out so I can get a clean grip with the Allen keys. And just to let y'all know, it's a 2.5 millimeter. That you're gonna need to take it out. All right, you're going to have to take your wing tower brace off, which is under there. It's right here. It's a bolt underneath, and the bolt is right there. You have to take that out. Now, after you remove that screw, I've been told that the whole rear is removable now. So I'm just going to, like I said, I've never done this stuff before. Oh shit, there it is. There it is. Man, I've never done nothing like this, so I'm gonna get to it and let y'all know what's up. You gotta get that bolt off also, so you can lift this up and the whole rear come off. Alright, so far the bolts that I have, 4 on the bottom, well, the 5 that are on the bottom, 1 for the support right here, and then the center drive shaft came out, so obviously it's loose enough, and you just have to put it back right there and right here when you're done everything. But this should come up, I think, and I'll show you in a second. That's the way you're looking at it. Next you have to take off the wing by that bolt right there, that one right there. Take that bolt out, and the wing. Right, and the way you get that screw off is you need to put the key on that side, and you have a tool like this. Put it on the other side, which is right here, and you gotta turn it until it comes off. Alright, so both of those bolts need to come out, and they have, that one has a piece like this. That was on there on the inside of there. So, got the wing off. The next step is to take this plate off, these 2 screws in there. I'm looking at my diff and it's greased up pretty good. So what I'm gonna do, I started cleaning off the base. It was a little dirty. I'm start cleaning it off. I'm gonna take all this good grease, all that good lube grease right there, and put it up here to save it. And then when I'm done oiling the actual diff cup, I'm gonna take that grease and put it back around here like this, so it's nice and lubed up again. I did a good job doing that. I got the piece off, took the screws out, cut the piece off. I put the lube up on here, get the lube out of there. I do see something foul in there. You can't see it in the video, but I see a little bit of shavings, a little bit of metal shavings. We'll see what that is while we're going in there also. Next up, gotta remove this plate. Already got one screw up. This is another screw. One screw down here, another screw over there. Took all 4 of those out, and I'm taking these out also. Alright, these little holes were to hold the traction bar or sway bar in place. You can move it and get this out. There you go. There's the diff. Now I gotta get it out and fill it up. You guys understand how nervous I am holding my diff? Very nervous. Looks healthy. Well, get cracking open. Something that I saw earlier. This screw right here, set screw, goes right here to that hole. So when you're putting this top back on after filling it up, look for that little grub screw hole, and you could put it right back in there. So, all right, get inside. All right, took the 4 screws out. This is the inside of the top. As you can see, this is a gasket. Do not tear that gasket, I was told. And this is a gear that was on top of here, but you need to take it off so you can dump out the fluid so you can add fluid. After you take those parts out, take these 4 gears out and the pins. Alright, getting to that piece also of the diff. I'm going to be pulling that out, getting that cleaned off. Has some metal shavings, going to clean that up real nice. Alright y'all, that's 100K in there. Let's see if we can get it a little closer so you can see how thick that is. Pretty thick, huh? It all greased. So this is what I got so far. Looks like it's connected. Just gotta push it down far enough to make sure your shim is in place properly, like so, against the bearing in its place, and that's it. I mean, it gets a little tough, but just fight it a little bit. I was scared to break it, but you gotta force it a little bit, so don't be too scared. All right, I'm cutting it for the night. 3 o'clock in the morning comes early. Yeah, I've just been going at it. I got the diff back in. I'm sorry I didn't videotape it, but I got the diff back in. You know, got the cut back on. Put the screws back in. 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put the screws back in for the diff, and then these 2 screws right here for the sway bar. I'm going to be putting all everybody calls them driveshafts, I call them axles, and then the pins and all that stuff. I'm going to be putting everything back the way it's supposed to be, and I'll do a little video clip of each thing that I put back on. Just trying to get it done as fast as possible. Alright y'all, thank y'all for watching at least. Alright y'all, got the axles in, cap on, strut bar in place, both axles in. To let you know, the axles going one way. There's a bigger end that goes into the where the wheel goes, and then one that goes where the diff is, is the smaller end. So smaller end, bigger end. Let's see this. This ain't good. All greased up. Another good thing to do while you have it apart is to clean it. So I went through and cleaned the whole thing, and each part that I'm going to take off, going to the center diff, I'm going to clean off also. Alright y'all, everything's all back together. Still got to do some more cleaning. If you want to know what I use to protect my plastics and stuff, that's what I use. Yeah, it's all together. I'm going to do the center diff now. Still got to clean the bottom of that, but I'll get back to that after I do the center diff. Alright y'all, next I'm going to be taking the center diff out. What you got to do is take these pins out and pull out these rods, one on each side. Then the center brace needs to come out, and then your dish right here, 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, and then you pull it out. Alright y'all, got the 4 bolts out, or screws that was on the top right there. Also got the little handle out also. So just to let y'all know, I pulled that out before. It's a little tougher than what you think. Just keep pulling and it'll come out. So I'm going to clean all that out. Got some gunk in there. That's what we're looking at. We're getting in that center diff, pulling that out, and then filling that up with 500K. And then putting everything back, cleaning everything up while it's already out, you know. Center diff. Smaller than the front and rear diffs, looks like. I don't know. Rear diff looked like it was a little bigger than this. Might be wrong, but last time I looked in the diff, on the last diff, we barely had any in there. And this one, same thing, man. Like, they say fill it up, and it's barely anything in there. Yeah, it's a little lubricated, but what they specify says it should fill up to the brim. That is not full, man. At all. Diff out, everything's out, cleaned, or in the process of cleaning. Then putting 500K in the center. Already put 100K in the rear. One thing I found out, easiest way is to put the gears back in, fill it up at the top, then spin this bottom. It'll rotate the gears, and then you'll see it. See if I can get this. I'm gonna attempt something real quick. I don't know if you can see that. This is thick. Got the diff back together. Next I'm going to put the diff back in, and then I'm going to do the 16 point or tooth spur gear upgrade, and then see how that goes. But first I'm going to get that cleaned up in there. See all that dirt, grime and stuff, and get that as best as I can. Took the screws, there's 4 screws on top of the fan off, so I can take the fan off and clean it, because I can see some of the, when I ran through that tall grass, I can see some of the tall grass in there, see? So I'm gonna get all that out of there. Just to let y'all know, you could use just like a, you know, compressed air or something like that. I don't have any. I normally use my air compressor outside, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning and that thing's loud. So I just brushed it, blew in it, you know what I'm saying? And then just wipe it back out. But it's becoming clean. It's getting cleaner. Just gotta do the front next, and then, you know, put everything back together. Still gotta put that pinion gear on. Let's see. I'm gonna say thank you, Arrma, now, because, you know, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm still plugging away, and I pulled the fan plug out and I didn't know which one was positive and negative after I got the fan back on, because it's easier if you pull the pin out and then put the case back on and then put the pin back on, instead of trying to put the case over top the pin. So I pulled it out and I didn't know which side was positive and negative to put back on the pins, and they have it right there. Thank you, Jesus. Alright. Now I'm listening to the mesh. So I never heard Arrma, so well, I was saying, when I first got my truck, I knew something was wrong with it. Look at this. This is my pinion gear onto its bracket. It pushed itself back. Obviously, the screw wasn't set tight enough. And it pushed itself back and was hitting the bracket. Arrma. Yeah, I knew something was up. Watch this shit. Watch this shit. This is how loose my gear was. That's crazy. If you can see, I'm just pulling that straight out. That's crazy, right? Shouldn't be able to do that. That's all to the end. I can damn near get that off right now without even using that Allen key. I almost fucked my whole shit up. Arrma almost fucked my shit up. Size comparison. 16 tooth, 12 tooth. Alright, everything wiped down, put back in its place. Got the 16 tooth pinion. We're gonna be putting the rear back on. Everything cleaned up pretty nice. Go more detail tomorrow morning. Got it all together. And guess what I forget? Can you guess? Look at the whole thing. What did I forget to put back? I'll take that. I'll take it. I'll take that. I'm pretty happy. Alright, y'all. Everything is done, like I said. I just wanted to show y'all that we cleaned everything inside. Everything got clean, except for the wheels. You can see the top of the wheels. They got clean, but I didn't put that touch on them. But everything inside has been touched. All of it. Alright, y'all. Take care of y'all trucks.